Presented by Haagen-Dazs.
We got some good bump last night. Happy Friday, everyone. The second round, it rolls on tonight, and we are keeping an eye on the status of former MVP Joel Embiid, who, of course, missed Philadelphia's Game 2 on Wednesday with that right ankle and hip soreness. Now, currently, he's listed as questionable, with the Sixers down 0-2 in their series against the New York Knicks. As we say hello to our senior insider, Shams Charania, to get the full injury picture here for Game 3 tonight. So, Shams, Joel Embiid, he's listed as questionable. OG Anunoby, he's dealing with that hamstring injury. What can you tell us about the likelihood that we're going to see those two out there tonight?
Malika, so let's start with Joel Embiid. He will be evaluated once he gets to the arena later here this afternoon today. But I am told he did participate in the team's preparations today ahead of Game 3 in Philadelphia. Film session, a team walkthrough / shoot around. The goal would be for him to warm up and play. He's got that hip and ankle injury. There is hope in that Sixers building that Joel Embiid could play tonight, but it's all going to be dependent on how he feels once he arrives and also how warm-ups go, how pregame and his health go. They're 1-3 without him in the lineup, 3-2 with him. On the other side of this matchup is OG Anunoby. I'm told he's been getting treatment today on a hamstring strain. And my understanding is it is a very minor strain of that hamstring. That is the good news for the Knicks and Anunoby, which is why he is day-to-day and game-to-game on his status. We do know with all soft tissue injuries, you have to have a level of caution, and that's how the Knicks will move forward here later this afternoon.
Especially with the history of hamstring injuries that we've seen OG have, even in the playoffs as recently as 2 years ago. Shams, thank you very much for that insight. So those are tonight. Game 2s, though, they were happening. We had 2 on Thursday night. The Thunder, they took a 2-0 series lead against the Lakers. Let's run it back for everybody. We're going to pick this up, Perk, early in the third quarter here. So this is when you're saying, all right, the Los Angeles Lakers, they need to take advantage because SGA is headed to the bench. Not so fast. Remember, your former squad only plus 2.12 points per game in the non-SGA minutes in the 68 games that he played during the regular season.
I know that you enjoyed that third quarter spree, but was it killing you inside not to get out on the court?
Not one bit.
Really?
As long as we win, I don't even care. I think I came out when we were down, and I went back in and we were up. So, like, as long as we win, I don't care about anything else.
And
It's hit on the head more than any player I've seen on drives, and it rarely gets called.
hanging with Skip wasn't enough. He had to come back here and hang with us once again. Stephen A. Smith.
That's not his name. It's Stephen Naismith, apparently, because he invented basketball. That was a bar.
Let's roll with that. Let's roll with that.
All right,
Let's roll with that.
Smith.
Let's stick with that lie.
What are you diagnosing in this Lakers game? Because they're talking about the officiating, but also saying that's not the reason they lost the game.
You can't have it both ways. When you were whining the way that you were whining, on one hand, listen, 2 plays at least, LeBron got clobbered. No doubt. LeBron got clobbered. No doubt about that. 2 plays. Here's the problem. When you're seen at the end of the game huddled against the officiating like that, and the opponent who knows they are the superior team that just won and are up 2-0 are literally laughing at you and trying to sneak into the huddle and saying, wait a minute, is there some meeting going on? Shouldn't we be a part of this? Like laughing, joking around, mocking you. They have no respect. They're not worried or concerned about you in the slightest. What they're viewing you as is a team that's whining about getting your ass kicked. And that's really what it comes down to. I'm not saying that's accurate because I think the Lakers have been very competitive in these first 2 games. But that's the approach. That's the attitude. That's the body language. That's the ambiance that OKC is giving off about the Los Angeles Lakers, which makes it really bad, which makes Game 3 even that much more important. Not just because of a 3-0 hole, but they are showing you they are not concerned about you in the slightest. And if you are the Lakers, what you going to do about it?
Right. And here's the thing, right? Like, we could go down and debate the flopping and all that stuff because Marcus Smart, he flops, Braun flops, SGA, all those guys do. But the real point is that the Oklahoma City, they snatch your soul and they make you feel some type of way. And that's what we saw last night. And those self-inflicted wounds that the Lakers do, they don't help with those turnovers.
Facts.
I was preaching yesterday the hockey assist. You got to make the hockey assist. The first pass is not there. You have to put this team in rotation defensively in order to get good possessions offensively. And if you don't do that, guess what ends up happening? They get out in transition with SGA on the bench, and all of a sudden you see these shining moments from Jared McCain, A.J. Mitchell, and Jalen Williams off the bench while SGA is sitting on the bench clapping and rooting for his teammates, and they blowing you out by double digits.
Stephen A., I want to get your take on this because they're very similar to the Golden State Warriors in two regards. You have to play every minute of the game in order to not even beat them, but to have a chance to beat them. And then secondly, we saw the Lakers. They had a really good second quarter. The third quarter is where they kill you. It's like, okay, SGA is not having a great game. He's in foul trouble, and great is relative because anything sub 20 is like not the standard. Look at this. His team has his back in the biggest ways. Look at the plus minus, Stephen A. Off the court with SGA, they've actually gotten more comfortable, scored more points while he's resting.
Well, let me say something. Number one, it's very, very rare that you hear a black man over 300 pounds talking about a hockey assist. This is special. This is special. This is special. I mean, my man Perk is one of a kind.
He's one of a kind. Friday.
Now that's a visual I don't
I'm not mad at him. I'm praising the brother because I didn't think of that. He's right. Number one. Number two, people need to be very, very careful of messing with the Goliath. See, Shea, 4 straight years, this brother has averaged over 30. And people keep talking about him like he's some dude that, I had somebody text me during my radio show. He'd only average 18 if it wasn't for the free throws. Keep talking. This brother 6'7", got a handle, got a J, got a mid-range, got a three-point, can finish in the basket, can finish in the open court, plus can hit his free throws. Keep messing with this brother. This is not the dude to play with. Shea is special. I use shea butter. I always tell everybody, I got it from you. I didn't make that up. I got it from Malika Andrews. She gave me that shea butter, and I love it. That's all I'm going to say about this. He going to bust their ass now. They keep messing with him.
And still, Stephen A., it was a 5-point game early in the third quarter before the Oklahoma City Thunder blew this wide open. So did the Lakers show Mark anything here that makes you say they can come back to Los Angeles and put up a fight here?
Austin Reeves is like their Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's their only hope. I'm dating, me and you understand that.
I follow Star Wars.
She is the Star Wars.
My bad. I mean, he played great. His best game of the playoffs so far. But he even turned the ball over, and that's a big problem for them. They had 26, gave up 26 points off turnovers, 19 turnovers a game. Reeves had 6 of them, so you can cry to the refs, but they ain't making you turn the ball over.
That is true. And at the end of the day, that's what this is going to come down to. See, Golden State, to get to your point, Golden State demoralized you because of their shot-making ability. Even though they could defend, you had a confidence you could score on them. It's just that, 2 points don't equal 3. And Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, for all of those years shooting them threes, could demoralize you. In Oklahoma City's case, collectively, they're like a pack of piranhas. They come at you, and they defend, and they are in you all game long. And you see Austin Reeves acting like that. Granted, 31 points. He could ball. We all know that Austin Reeves could ball. But still in all, you're complaining like that because it's frustrating what they're doing to him.
On ESPN.com, our senior writer Ramona Shelburne put out a really interesting story on the star freshman. And Ramona joins us in studio now. And this was such a fascinating look at Peterson, one that we really hadn't seen before, because he is so undoubtedly charismatic and talented, but so much of the conversation around his college career was checking himself out of games, these injuries, these mysterious cramps. What did you learn about the reasoning for this? It's something we haven't heard before.
Honestly, it's because he didn't know until very recently.
Okay.
After the season, he took a couple weeks off. He got new blood work done, and they said, your levels of creatine are very high, and this is a baseline level. And he goes, well, I've been taking creatine all year since I got to Kansas. He dosed it, which is what people do. It's usually regarded as a fairly safe supplement, but when you dose it and you have already high levels, it can create a situation like this. And I wish you could have been in the room with me when he was telling me what the experience was like when he had this full body cramp. I mean, he feared for his life. He said, I thought I was going to die on the training table. I could not get a vein. I couldn't move anything, my legs, my arms, my stomach, my back. All I could do was yell for help. And he had this happen to him in September. His teammates saw it, so I think that's why people there kind of understood how scary this was. But all year long, when he would have any of the cramps that would come up again, he didn't know what it was, and he thought, I can't have that happen again.
Right.
I can't have that progress to a full body cramp. So he would check himself out of games.
And the way that he described it to you, it was really like a full body paralysis that was taking over the way that he was feeling, and he felt like he couldn't continue. So now he has this clarity, and he has this diagnosis, and he knows that he can't be taking this supplement that's widely considered safe for so many people. But the draft is just about a month and a half away at this point, Ramona. So what does the draft prep process look like?
Well, he's been out here in Los Angeles, and since he's got clarity on this, he hasn't had any issues with the cramping.
Okay.
And I think one of the big things that everybody is going to want to know is what positions this guy played, because at Kansas he was off the ball, but he said very unequivocally, I want to be a point guard. I see myself as a point guard. That's what I should be at the next level. He said Kansas coach Bill Self kind of played him off the ball to help him because he was dealing with these cramps until anytime he would get to the second half or exert himself so much, you're carrying so much when you're at the point guard, you're doing so much, it would lead to him to start cramping in. But now that he's got this solved, he feels like I can go back and be a point guard again, and that's what he's been working on.
He wants the ball in his hands. And one thing about Darryn Peterson is he is very verbal. He will always say exactly what. Be up there in age, I mean, but I still got it.
Not that far up there.
Here comes the motorcade. The stars showing out here. Mitchell inbound sprints.
He checked.
Knocks down the three.
Is that Bank of America?
He is hyped. Chase, sure. Fourth quarter, Cade returning the favor here. Cunningham.
So tough.
Crossing up Strus.
Step back.
Strus can't get that loose.
He did an excellent job last night of letting the game come to him.
Harden.
Right? They trapped him early. He dished out the rock, and then he got the one-on-one coverage late in the game.
This was the story of the night, though, Perk, right?
It's been
for
the
James
story
Harden.
of the playoffs for James Harden.
Also for Thompson, it locked him up on defense. So Detroit gets the win, and they take a 2-0 series lead. And the advanced stats, let's talk about James Harden, right? They don't look good. The simple stats, they also don't look great. So far in the series, he does have more turnovers than he does field goals or assists. And Mark, you've spent a lot of time in Cleveland this season. You did the diary with Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan even said yesterday, he said, I'm going back. I got my loyalty number at the hotels. They all know me, and they say, hey, Mr. Spears. You may not be going back for that much longer, though, if Cleveland can't turn some things around here, Mark. What's the confidence level these guys have in this group?
Well, I heard they were in good spirits despite what happened. But one thing that sticks out to me is I talked to Donovan Mitchell before the playoffs started, and I talked to him about James's struggles in the postseason and his struggles. And he said that he, Embiid, and James aren't the three active players that have struggled the most in the postseason who are trying to change things. Coincidentally, for active NBA players who average over 20 points a game, the three players with the longest losing streak in the second round are Embiid with 5, Harden with 5, and Donovan Mitchell. And so I also talked to James before the playoffs about just changing everything, changing the narrative about him in the playoffs. And like nobody wants to win a championship more than him. He talked about how emotional he would be if he'd win. But, man, he's had a tough go of these playoffs.
Well, Donovan Mitchell continues to speak that in existence because him and Harden been, Donovan Mitchell been at an all-star level, but Harden has been horrible. Look, Kenny Atkinson need to bench him. That's it. But we're not going to.
What do you mean by bench?
Well, I mean, take him out of the starting lineup and limit his minutes coming in off the bench as a role player. It's too many times. It's too many times of late, especially these last 2 games or 3 games, even going back to Game 7, that the Cleveland Cavaliers are not getting off to a great start or a good start. Somebody needs to be inserted into that lineup so that they could be the instigators and not the retaliators. And that somebody needs to be Dennis Schroeder.
Do we have to go to the nuclear option? Can we just start with maybe the warmer one, meaning maybe you give him a little bit of a shorter leash per se when it comes to minutes. So if he does not start the game well, or if you don't like what you see, then you bench him. Not just say, let's just set him on the bench and have someone else take the opportunity. The reason I say this, my good brother Perk, is because James Harden is elite at making sure Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley can be productive. Because he has those dump-offs in the middle. We have not seen it in the postseason, right? But that doesn't mean it's not capable.
Well, you don't have time. When you down 0-2, Shanae, you don't have time. And speaking of Evan Mobley, I'm glad you brought him up.
Okay.
1 rebound, bro. Former Defensive Player of the Year. 1 rebound is unacceptable.
Wait,
we talk about James, but Evan Mobley is the most important player to their success.
Yeah.
And you cannot, and I understand you may not touch the rock and get the amount of shot attempts that you want, but damn it, it's unexcusable.
Widmeier. Mitch, thank you so much for taking some time with us here on NBA Today.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely. Mitch, I was so touched. I was so moved by the story of you and your sister, Hannah. I'm really close with my little sister. Can you just tell us a little bit about your relationship?
Yeah, that sibling bond, as you know well, Malika, it's always super, super tight. So I grew up with Hannah as my younger sister, Haley as my older sister. So I guess when things would go down in the house once in a while and someone had to get blamed, I'd be outnumbered 2-1. But we grew up very, very close, and it stayed that way throughout.
And certainly it's that way as we just saw now today. And I was watching your videos online on TikTok. You've caught the attention of so many people, of so many fans as well. What was it that made you want to continue to share this outside of wanting your friends to be able to keep in touch?
Yeah, that was the main reason. When Hannah and I moved away from home 3.5 years ago, we had friends and family who were telling us, like, create an Instagram, create a TikTok account. We just want to keep up to date with Hannah. And I didn't really post anything on the TikTok, like, ever. And I started getting pressure, like, start posting stuff. And they were like, just do, like, the trending dances on TikTok. I was like, you're never going to catch me doing that. Like, never, ever. So
Me neither.
I just was like, when we watch games together, as I said, she's watching me more than the TV, and she just gets an immense joy out of it. And so I decided, all right, we'll start posting on your TikTok, and we just started with the regular season opener this year, and it kind of took off from there.
And you said that you had aspirations, right, to do some play-by-play, and this is a version of that. And I got to tell you, you're really talented. What does Hannah think of your calls here?
Hannah probably gets annoyed at me every once in a while, but those 2.5 hours that we spend together multiple weeks watching Knicks games, it's just a true bond we have. But yeah, a lot of people ask me in DMs and in the comments, like, about the broadcasting element of it. I went to school for radio, TV broadcasting, and my dream, my goal growing up was always to be the radio voice of the New York Knicks. So that's not why we do the videos, but it's an element of it for me that I kind of get to just scratch the itch a little bit. But if Hannah didn't enjoy it this way, we wouldn't be doing it. And this is how she gets the most joy out of having to sit and watch games with me.
Well, and the laughter that we saw from your how animated you get. And you have a catchphrase, right? What's the catchphrase?
There's a couple of them. Well, pass the sugar is the big one.
Yeah.
So when the Knicks get that final dagger and it looks like they're going to win, we always pass the sugar. And her comments and DMs are always flooded with people just reciprocating that back to us, which is pretty cool.
Pass the sugar target practice, right? That's another one.
Yeah, Mike Breen liked that one. Target practice when they make a three up, 3 down. We've got a few that we use, but the one that definitely is it trends in the comments is pass the sugar.
Mike Breen liked that one so much that actually in one of the third quarters of a game, it was Hawks-Knicks last time around, he used that as a bit of a homage to you and your story, and you actually spoke to him. What was that experience like?
Yeah, again, as someone who wanted to be like the radio voice of the Knicks growing up, obviously Mike being the TV side of that, growing up, Mike Breen was a fixture for me watching Knicks games. So to have him be aware of the videos, narrate the story for Hannah, and then to get a call from him a week ago was unbelievable. And he said he was going to borrow the target practice line. And so I had posted on Hannah's Instagram story, like, we have it on good authority. I didn't want to completely throw out that it was directly from Mike in case he forgot or couldn't fit it into the broadcast. But I said, we have it under good authority that Mike Breen's going to use its target practice line at some point. When he did, again, it was just a bunch of people sending me the clip, and it's unbelievable. It's one of those kind of like pinch me moments where one of your broadcasting heroes is using a line that you say in social media videos with your little sister.
Well, it's social media videos with your little sister in one sense, but I think it's also giving hope to a lot of people, Mitch, in another sense. But you got a busy day. You got another game to call coming up here in a couple of hours. The New York Knicks, they're up 2-0 on the Philadelphia 76ers. What do you think? I mean, is this the year they get it done? We see the Knicks hat.
I hope so. I'm always glass half full with the Knicks. I will say some of these margins of victories that they've had in games this postseason and the way the defense grew throughout the regular season makes me believe that this year could be different for New York. I'm hoping they take one of the next two in Philly and you go up 3-1 back to the Garden for Game 5. So that's the hope.
I mean, certainly the Knicks right now, as we were chatting about before we came on, it looks like the path is clear for them to go back to the NBA Finals for the first time since the 90s here. Mitch, I'm wondering, What is it that you hope that when people are watching you, watching Hannah, watching your story, what are you hoping that people walk away or take from your relationship and what you're trying to do here?
Just the bond that we have, that there's different ways you can bond and find happiness. You know, obviously Hannah's nonverbal. She's 100% dependent, but I have found throughout the years taking care of her, there are certain things that bring out her happiness. And I will say, Malika, the one part that people don't see, I get an immense amount of, I would say, happiness, joy when I get DMs from people who say, I've had a parent who had a traumatic brain injury. I have a cousin who had a traumatic brain injury. And they might say, you know, it's not to the level of Hannah, but these videos bring me so much happiness. We have people who send us DMs of their little kids yelling, pass the sugar, Hannah, pass the sugar, Hannah. And it's just, again, if Hannah didn't get enjoyment out of this, we wouldn't be doing the videos. But the most enjoyment I get out of it, outside of seeing her smile and laugh throughout, is those personal messages you get from people that you don't even know, who just can find that glimpse of joy when it's easy to doom scroll on social media. We hope for those couple minutes that we provide a video every Knicks game that they get a little bit of joy.
It's so true. There's so many, it's so easy to sometimes focus on the negative things that exist in the world and how we relate to each other. But when you look hard enough, joy is what connects us all, in sports, right? Is another piece of what connects us all. And for you all, that's the New York Knicks. And Mitch, it's not just us here at ESPN that we're so very touched by your story. The New York Knicks are as well. So before we let you go, we got something for you.
What's up, Mitch and Hannah? Shalen Brunson here for the Knicks. Just wanted to say thank you for your support. Seeing your videos has been very inspiring, and your story is incredible. Just want to say thank you for always rooting for us, cheering for us. Your Knicks spirit is immaculate. So go Knicks, up all as well. See you soon.
Mitch and Hannah just got back from shoot around, getting ready for Game 3, but really wanted to send my love and say thank you so much for the content. Me and Jordan love watching your analysis and watching you guys watch the game every single game. And it brings us such joy to see how much Hannah really enjoys loving her Knicks. So really appreciate you, Mitch, doing what you do. Hannah, keep being a trooper, keep being the best in the game.
That's unbelievable. You guys got me there at the end. I wasn't expecting that.
I gotta tell you, Mitch, when I reached out to them for those videos, they already knew your story. They follow along. They watch your videos. Both Jalen and Carl said that they have been following along for the last several months. So there is a lot of people who are rooting for you, who are rooting for Hannah, and we so very much appreciate the time. We're deeply, deeply grateful.
I can't thank you guys enough. Truly, immensely, like from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for telling Hannah's story. Any spotlight she can get, she deserves it.
It is so very clear, Mitch, and you deserve that spotlight.